Stand by for Bwana.org radio. In 3, 2, 1. Cue the announcer.
You found Bwana.org radio, your one source for tech news and reviews. Now, almost live from sunny Florida, here's your host, Bwana McCall.
Greetings, folks, and welcome to episode 267 of Bwana.org radio. We got a great show lined up for you. 4 stories to talk about yet again today. Pretty much the same amount of stories we had in episode 266, but actually, episode 266 turned out pretty good. I listened to it and I was like, wow, that guy, that guy might actually know what he's talking about. But sometimes I just like the way my shows came out. And that was 4 stories, and it was a pretty good amount of content, 20 minutes of it. And this particular show of episode 267 of Bwana.org radio should be just as good, hopefully. Should be just as good. We're coming up on the weekend. I hope everybody has some good plans. It is Thursday, August 15th, 2013. And it's about 4:34 p.m. I'm starting a little bit early today. I got some stuff planned for the night, so I want to make time for it. But yeah, you know how things go, that real life thing, that real life stuff. 4 stories. We talk about tech news reviews here at Bwana.org radio. We also have a gaming podcast called Game Chat with Bwana, which we do on Saturday afternoons at 3 p.m. Eastern. This one typically happens about 6 p.m. Eastern on Tuesdays and Thursdays. And like I said, today we're doing it a little bit early, but I don't think you guys will mind too much. Yeah, at Casa de Bwana. We got a great show lined up for episode 267 of Bwana.org radio.
It's time for Bwana.org radio's tech news for this week.
And for our first story, we're going to talk about Apple. Apple. The last Bwana.org radio, I had a little bit of a segment where I was talking about Apple's not really dead, even though people like to prematurely call them dead. And I'm probably going to get some flack for that. I don't care. But, you know, everybody has an opinion, right? Right. But this next story, over on GottaBeMobile.com, talks about something that kind of shocked me. Even with my mediocre and low expectations, this shocked me. Billionaire investor Carl Icahn, I think that's how you pronounce his last name, Icahn. Carl Icahn, he has pretty much announced that Apple is extremely undervalued in their stock price. He believes that Apple is worth a lot more than what their stock price is set to. And we recently saw that Apple is now, I believe they're hovering around the $500 mark in terms of their stock price, which to me is freaking enormous. But their stock price dropped to like in the 400s, like the mid 400s. People are like, oh, Apple's gonna die, and I'm like, yeah, that's 400, man. You know, a lot of these big, quote unquote, big companies, their stock price is like $28 and $50 and that kind of stuff. But anyway, Carl says that they're undervalued, and he was like, well, I'm gonna put my money where my mouth is. And according to Bloomberg, he has invested an additional $1 billion in Apple. And this is coming after a conversation he had with Mr. Tim Cook. So pretty much all the SEC guys are like, all right, what did he tell you? What? Did you break any regulations? What's going on here? How could you invest $1 billion after a conversation with the CEO? But apparently, I don't know. Here's the quote. He says, we currently have a large position with Apple. We believe the company to be extremely undervalued. Spoke to Tim Cook today. More to come. And it's kind of, you know, it's kind of a weird timing, I guess you could say, because, you know, Apple's about to have their September 10th event. We're expecting new products from Apple. And then Carl Icahn says, well, Apple's extremely undervalued. I'm just going to drop some chump change on this company because we believe that they're worth a little bit more. So we're just going to throw $1 billion at Apple. Just $1 billion. Just throw $1 billion. We just toss chump change. Yeah. I can't imagine $1 billion being chump change to me, but that's why I don't have $1 billion. Yes, that's why, right. But this kind of adds fuel to the fire that about the Apple rumors. We don't know what's coming. Like I said last show, I'm still believing that it's not going to be nothing earth shattering. My expectations are set pretty low. But this is probably why this particular article shocked me, because I didn't expect a whole lot. And then Carl Icahn says, "Oh, they're going to blow the world away. They're undervalued. I'm going to throw $1 billion at them." I mean, people just don't throw $1 billion at anybody. So he must know something we don't, or he's just crazy, or he just wants to spend money. Who knows? Check the story out, guys, over on GottaBeMobile.com. They got the details. Carl Icahn says Apple is extremely undervalued, throws $1 billion at them. What's coming from Apple? Who knows? And for our next story, we're going to talk about Microsoft. Microsoft has confirmed the Windows 8.1 launch date. Windows 8.1 is essentially the service pack for Windows. If you've used Windows in the past, you know that shortly after launch, a few months after launch, Windows launches a service pack, which consists of lots of bug fixes and a lot of times some nifty new features, some changed around dialogues, and some security fixes and whatnot. This particular iteration, Windows 8.1, will be launching October 17th, and there's already a free preview out that people have been looking at. I haven't looked at it myself because I'm just going to wait to the final one because I don't want to. But if you're a little bit unfamiliar with Windows 8.1, I'm going to include a link in the show links that gives Engadget's hands-on impressions of it. Essentially, what they're doing is they're trying to address user concerns, user complaints, and one of the biggest ones is Metro. You talk to anybody, literally anybody who has tried Windows 8, they're going to talk to you about Metro, whether they like it, dislike it, or were indifferent about it. They're going to bring it up because it is the hottest topic about Windows 8 because it's the user interface that got drastically overhauled. Now, what they're doing with Windows 8.1 is that they're bringing back the start menu in a different fashion. It's not going to be the same exact start menu you remember from Windows 7, Windows XP, Windows Vista, so on. But it's going to be a different iteration of it. And it's going to give people who like the desktop atmosphere of Windows a way of using Windows. Now, personally, it didn't bother me. Metro got in the way for a little while. I'd say probably an hour and a half. I was like, all right, Metro, get out the way. And then I figured out how to make my computer boot directly to desktop instead of the Metro. And then I figured out how to launch programs from Metro. And then that was it. I really didn't need Metro anymore. And I was like, only way people can tell I'm using Windows 8 is if I bring up Metro to launch something. And it's pretty quick. I just hit the Windows key, type in the program, and hit enter. And it's a really quick process. Metro doesn't get in my way at all. So this new start menu might be something I welcome, but I've gotten used to the existing system. So that doesn't really bother me. There's also some customization features. Right now, the Metro system doesn't allow you to customize a whole lot. So Windows 8.1 is going to allow you to do something more to lock screens and some slideshows and stupid stuff like that. I call it stupid because it's like, not really stupid. It's just like little cosmetic stuff that it's annoying that you can't customize. Also, there's some more multitasking enhancements. You'll be able to do multitasking a little bit different. There's like multiple panes now when you do multitasking, not just one. What else? There's some search optimizations, onboard keyboard for Windows Surface stuff. SkyDrive integration is going to be tighter. The Windows Store is going to be a little bit tighter. Just some little tweaks here and there in Windows 8.1. Now, I jumped on the Windows train early. I got it for the discounted price of free because I'm an MSDN member. But I jumped on it early anyway, and you can actually get it. It was like a really cheap price. It was like under $50 when it first came out, but then it's since increased in price. And I was telling people, I'm like, when I was using it, I'm like, it's worth the price. Even if you're going to upgrade later, you should buy it now for this low price. And I don't know, people didn't jump on it, and now they got to pay full price, and now they don't think it's worth it. And I'm like, well, I told you so. But Windows 8.1, October 17th is the official date. So we'll be holding our breath. Hopefully nothing will go drastically wrong. I don't think it will. I think Microsoft is going in the right direction. And I must say, guys, let me just say this again. Windows 8.1 is stable, despite what you might hear. There's a lot of negative stuff out there about Windows 8.1, how it sucks. And you ask them why it sucks. They're like, Metro sucks. They're like, okay, what else sucks? It sucks. It's stable. It's stabler on my machine than Windows 7 was. much stabler than Windows Vista. So to call Windows 8 the next Windows Vista is kind of a laughable thing because Windows Vista was very unstable. Very, very unstable. UI issues aside, it was very unstable. A lot of people had problems, including myself. Windows 8 for me exactly was not as bad as Windows Vista. It's much better than Windows 7. Not trying to sell it. I'm just trying to give you my experiences because there's a lot of misinformation out there. People want you to hate Windows for various reasons. But I try to tell it like it is. I hate Windows for certain reasons, but I'm going to tell it like it is. It's more stable than Windows 7. And Metro doesn't get in my way hardly at all. Check it out, guys, over at Gadget.com to get details. And for our next story, we're going to talk about Google. Google has sent out, or apparently a while ago, they sent out a false email telling the users that their Google Wallet has been compromised. That's not good. If you don't know, Google Wallet is Google's attempt to do money transactions over the internet. They recently included some features that integrate tightly with Gmail, where you can actually send money via Gmail. And more and more vendors are adopting Google Wallet, and Google is tying their Android stuff into Google Wallet with some NFC features and some other cool things like that. But this false email essentially alerted some people that their Google Wallet was activated on another device, and this device was a device that didn't exist. So imagine, if you will, you get an email that says Google Wallet has been activated on your Nexus 7. And you're like, I don't have a Nexus 7. Panic, 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 panic. Woo, woo. You know, you pretty much go into panic mode because you think your account's been compromised. But apparently, Google says it was a glitch. And they fixed the glitch. We fixed the glitch. Here's a statement. As a safety precaution, we notify users whenever a new device is added to their Google Wallet account. Earlier this week, there was an email delivery issue causing some users to incorrectly receive this notice. This issue has been corrected, and no accounts or personal information were compromised. Now, if I were to receive that message, that would make me feel better. What kind of glitch, Google? What are you talking about? How'd you fix it? What caused the glitch? How'd this glitch just come about out of nowhere? Why is it my account? Is my wallet safe? Who accessed my information? Is it an inside job? Was there somebody internally that was disgruntled? Should I have to worry? Should I move to PayPal? Question number 66, 67, and 68. You know, you just keep going and going and going and going. The paranoid factor kicks up. I mean, this is money, guys. This is money. This is money. This is serious business. So, have a glitch like this is not good for Google. It's the point I'm trying to make. I'm glad that they apparently fixed the glitch pretty quickly. But still doesn't make me comfortable using Google Wallet. I don't even use them. But after reading about this is kind of like a bullet point to say, is this stable? Is this going to be more stable or more reliable than what I'm using today? Well, they did. And you go to that bullet point. Well, they did have that issue where they had that glitch where people's devices were falsely added to somebody, whatever this is. You know what I'm trying to get at. Google sends a false email. Guys, check it out. Over on Gotta Be Mobile. This false email alerted some Google Wallet users that their stuff was compromised, but it was a glitch, and they fixed the glitch.
You found Bawana.org Radio. Tech news and tech gadgets for the hardcore geek in all of us.
And for our next story, we're going to talk about Google yet again. Google, oh man, their lawyers, I'm not going to say Google, but I am going to say their lawyers. Google's lawyers have filed a claim in the courts that emails sent to Gmail have no expectation of privacy. None. So what they're saying is, If an email is sent to Gmail, you shouldn't expect it to be private. Okay, where to start with this? Apparently, I mean, obviously, people are up in arms about this because that's nonsense. That's utter and complete nonsense. It goes against everything email has stood for since the beginning. Any type of messaging system has gone against in the beginning. To say that you have no expectation of privacy is a slap in the face to anybody who has any kind of common sense. I'm trying to figure out how to approach this because obviously I don't agree with it because I send messages to somebody. I assume, in my crazy mind, that the only people who can read that message are the administrators at Google. Obviously, sysadmins can read everything. I've been a sysadmin. I know the capabilities there. The person on the other end, myself, and the NSA. Those 4 people can read my message. Okay? So my expectation is that that message is private except for those 4 people. That's my expectation. Google is saying there's no expectation of privacy. There's none. There's none. No expectation. Your email is out there for everybody. And it's really crazy. I mean, this advocacy group, I read another link. I hope I get it right, but Consumer Watchdog said that Google cited some 1979. Yeah, it's in here. It says it goes on to cite a ruling made in 1979 that says that those who turn over information to a third party have no expectation of privacy. And the Consumer Watchdog group comes back and says Google's brief uses a wrong-headed analogy. Sending an email is like giving a letter to the post office. I expect the post office to deliver the letter based on the address written on the envelope. I don't expect the mail carrier to open my letter and read it. Similarly, when I send an email, I expect it to be delivered to the intended recipient with a Gmail account based on the email address. Why would I expect its content to be intercepted by Google and read? You shouldn't expect that. The capability is there. You shouldn't expect it. But Google doesn't just read it, they use it for business purposes. That's the argument here. And it's a felony. This is a good analogy because it is a felony. If you are caught reading somebody else's mail, that is a felony. You go to prison. That is not, you go straight to jail. This is like do not pass, go straight to jail. If I'm wrong about that, correct me, but I'm quite sure that it is a felony to read somebody else's mail. If you work at the post office, that's what I'm talking about, postmaster. Check this story out, guys. I mean, the Google's lawyers are just, this is crazy. And you know, I mean, Google changed their terms of service, and I was up in arms about this when they changed their terms of service that says all your data is going to be used everywhere, including Gmail. And I think this class action lawsuit is going against that. And this is Google's argument. They're saying you have no expectation of privacy with your email. And given all the controversy that's going on with all the private email vendors out there, all the people who did encrypted email, I didn't talk about it here, but there were some encrypted email providers that pretty much shut down because they said that, well, we're not private. Your stuff pretty much can be read, so we're just going to shut down instead of lying to you guys. It's not good for Google. And I'm making preps to get off Gmail. I mean, people are like, well, I know you don't want to. I'm like, man, I am developing contingency plans. I almost did it. I stopped myself at the last minute, but contingency plans to get off Gmail because I see where this stuff is going and it's freaking scary. Almost as scary as like getting off the entire grid scary, but I'm not going to do that kind of stuff just yet. You read about a black man light up in a old warehouse with his own private network with sentry guns outside. It's probably me. That crazy boy. Check it out, guys, over on /Q.com. They got the details, man. Google says you have no expectation of privacy with your email. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments. On to our final story, we're going to talk about The doorbell. What? Buona, this is game. No, this is Buona.org radio. What in the world are you talking about doorbells for?
Well, just hear me out there, buddy. I'll tell you when I'm going.
These are called connected doorbells, and they're actually very, very cool. Connected doorbells they use your smartphone to determine who's at the door. Essentially, you attach a device to your door. It has a little camera on there, and when somebody rings it, it'll notify your phone, and you can see who's at the door on your smartphone. Very, very cool tech. There's 2 projects listed on this site on GigaOM, both of which are just getting started and around $200. Ouch. But when you think about it, it's really, really cool. Because I mean, those of us who have back in the day, these were like super duper high tech. You have an intercom system where somebody can ring the doorbell and you can talk to them at the door. Like back in the 50s, 40s, that was like high tech. I mean, this is a kind of a high tech version of that. And these apps allow you to talk to people, so they can talk to you and you can hear them on your phone. Which is very, very cool. And if you're not home, that's another cool thing. You can see who's coming at your door knocking and what's going on with that. And I think these are pretty cool. The first one is called it's on Indiegogo. It's called iDoorCam. This is $127 if you buy it on the site, and $160 if you buy it now. It's going to ship in October. Like I said, when you ring the doorbell, it notifies you, and you can talk to them from your phone. The other one is called a Doorbot. Oh, the first one, actually, iDoorCam connects to the power source of your existing doorbell. So this is cool if you want to replace your existing doorbell and you don't have to worry about batteries. The second one is a battery-powered one called Doorbot, and this one relies on batteries. You don't have to worry about hooking up power sources, so that's another good alternative. This one's $200. Has the same type of features. Both of these are iOS only, but will have Android apps coming soon. So this is a very cool way to high-tech your house. I mean, I know back in the early 2000s, I forgot the name of the company, but the ads were everywhere. All these wireless camera companies were so popular where you could set up wireless surveillance on your house. And it was like, for $100, you can set up $1 billion surveillance system right from your own computer. You know, all these big companies were doing that. But that kind of died off as people just bought webcams and just, did whatever they want. I remember writing some stuff in Linux that when it detected a new frame, it would create a 5-frame animated GIF, and it would email it to me when it detected movement. And it was so easy to write. I just used image magic tools and the convert command line to just create an animated GIF with 5 frames. It was really easy. And people were like, oh, you could do that? Yeah, you could do that with Linux. Linux is awesome. Check this story out, guys. Over at GigaOM, they got the details. Dig Dog Ditch is dead. Say hello to 2 connected doorbells. Hey guys, Buona here. Just want to take time to thank our corporate sponsors, Amazon.com, Green Man Gaming, and YouTube. Without these guys, Buona.org radio would not be possible. So thank you to our corporate sponsors. And that concludes episode 267 of Buona.org radio. I want to thank everybody for listening. Follow me on Twitter, twitter.com/Buona, or you can follow this channel at radio.buona.org or on youtube.com/IOBuffa is where I post my episodes every Tuesday and Thursday. These are generally done in the afternoons, generally after 6 p.m., but this one's going to be a little early. And we also do Game Chat with Buona on Saturday afternoons at 3 p.m. Eastern. This is a gaming podcast what I do over on my live stream at twitch.tv/Buona. You can follow that stream to get the behind the scenes of this particular podcast and also catch the live show of Game Chat with Buona on Saturdays. So I want to thank everybody for listening to the show. And I encourage you to tell your friends about the show. Tell everybody that you know that may be interested in this. Podcasting is not dead. And I know a lot of people like to listen to audio. They like to listen to radio. And if you give them an alternate means to do it, like say, hey, you can just download this to your phone, or when he posts a new episode, just go to YouTube on your phone. You can listen to it there, because YouTube is good for audio too. I learned that. I was like, wow, you can use YouTube just for audio. Huh. Technology's awesome. But thanks everybody for listening. This is Buona.org Radio episode 267. I want to thank everybody for listening, and I will see you next time.